myself Santosh. I do have around 9 years of experience working in IT industry, and currently I'm working as manager in Microsoft. My core experience is towards data science, data engineering, and data analytics project. Currently, I'm managing around 8 projects, and total I have worked with around 80 projects from different domains such as banking, healthcare, insurance, e-commerce, and retail. And I'm a certified trainer taking training for KSR for the last 5 years.
Well, in the last class, we were checking on what is this SQL, which is known as a structured query language. And please remember that this is the only one language which we can use it to communicate with a database. And I've given you 2 examples. The one was with the OLAP and OLTP. Well, as in then, there is no other technology which can match the speed of SQL. And I've given you 2 use cases. One is if you're sending money to someone, it has to go to the other person as early as possible with less than milliseconds, right? The other example which I want to give about this is ATM transactions. Okay, imagine if ATM transaction, I'll give another use case just to make sure that you don't forget this. You go to ATM. Okay, what is the most satisfying sound? Anyone? If you go to an ATM, what is the most satisfying sound when you are like putting your pin and you're using your card, right? And that sound you get, right? The counting sound. That's the most satisfying sound for everyone, right? Now, imagine, listen carefully. In the yesterday's session, I've given you two difference. One is a online transaction where you're sending money to someone by using Google Pay, and the other was phone. I don't know how many of you have started adding to the cart. Monitor for 5 days, you should be getting some of the offers or discounts. Now that is what we have seen, OLAP, analytical processing. Now imagine in this, if in ATM transactions, what happens if online analytical processing is implemented? Okay, just listen carefully. Today is August 1st, and in the morning, let's say that you had a balance of 10K. 9 o'clock after this class, you just went and withdraw 3K. And this is not going to change immediately. It is going to change after 2 days. What will happen? Still, if you 12 o'clock, if you go to a ATM, your balance will still show 10K. And what you will do, you will withdraw another 5K. And 4 o'clock in the evening, your balance will still show 10K. And already you have withdrawn 8K, you will withdraw another 5K. If you see the total balance, your total balance is minus 2000, which can never happen. If this type of things is happening in the real world, there will be the complete country or the complete world will become a fraudulent company. Why? You are withdrawing more than your balance. If it is not getting updated immediately, this is the issue you will get. Imagine the 10,000 will go and update tomorrow, right? Today it will not get updated from the bank side. It will go and update in the tomorrow. So what can happen? There is high likely chance that you can withdraw more than 10,000 today because your still balance is 10,000. You can keep on withdrawing, and end of the day, the bank will go on a negative balance. This will never happen. The reason? That's not how the transactional processing works. Transactional processing, I keep saying this, it has to be changed as less as milliseconds or maximum seconds. If I send money to someone, maximum 5 seconds the money should go. If not, if it is cancelled or if it's network issue, the amount is coming back after 7 days, all these are exceptional cases. But when it is a successful transaction, it should get updated within 5 to 6 seconds. And that's what we need to think about. Whereas if you take the other example, this can even wait. If I don't get offer after 3 days, I can even get after 5 days. Doesn't matter for me. Remember the examples which makes you a very much a clear concept for you to implement it. Now moving forward, we will see some of the difference. We'll see some of the difference. See, this is an online transactional processing. This is an online analytical processing. Let's see what is happening. So if you see here, the response time should be in milliseconds. That means ATM transaction, or if you're sending money to someone, it should happen within milliseconds. And that's the main feature of online transactional processing. But if you take a OLAP offer, they can even give in minutes, they can give in hours, they can give in anywhere. Another example I'll tell you. Yesterday, I was just trying to browse tickets, flight tickets. Okay, I was just saying from this place to this place, what is the cost of the flight, everything. I checked in the morning around 10:30. The entire day, any website I open, there will be a pop-up advertisement of the flight. How many of you have experienced this? You search in the morning and you open any website, that advertisement will show flight offers discount. Have you observed or not? Many times. this is what it is happening. How they are recommending? They are recommending within minutes. They are using your cache information that is present in your website, and they are doing this. It's not only for with plain tickets, or even if you're buying something in Amazon, you go and browse something and you come out of the application and you go and use any other website, the advertisement will show. And that's how they're recommending. It all comes under the analytical processing. So it can happen in minutes, hours, or even days, right? And this is large number of handles a large number of small transactions. For example, 11 o'clock you go to ATM, 11:05 you go to ATM, 11:15 you go to ATM, 11:30 you go to ATM. 4 transactions has to be made an entry. Small transaction also has to be made an entry in your passbook or whatever it is. And that's what the features of volume. But here you will be handling large volume of data. That means in the last 3-4 days, how many times he came to the website, how many times he added the product to the cart, how many times he removed the product from the cart. I will be handling a large volume. The volume of the data is 3 days of data I will be analyzing. Whereas in the first case, 1 minute of transaction data also I will be analyzing. And this is a very simple, because the moment you go and withdraw, it's a simple update statement. Whereas if you go and see this is going to be complex. The way we handle the class, maybe since you're in the free class, you may not be aware of it. The way we handle the class is, whenever we are talking about the topics, I will be giving you interview questions. I'll be giving you a hint that these questions will be asked. For the first 3 days, forget about the first 2 days which we had in introduction. This is a second class in SQL. The first interview question you can expect out of this topic is, can you explain what is OLAP and OLTP with an example? If you are interested, please write it down somewhere. For all these sessions, whenever the topic comes which seems to be important, I will be telling you interview question. The first interview question when you're applying for a data engineering role that you can expect from SQL is, can you explain the concept of OLAP and OLTP? Or the second question which is expected is, tell me the difference between OLAP and OLTP. This is going to be a very important question, and this is how we will be handling when we are learning Python, PySpark, or SQL. I'll be sharing all the questions. If you note it down, by end of this course itself, you will be having a question paper in your hand. And if you just prepare for that question paper, obviously you will get a job, right? See, everyone in this world is lacking time. You're spending 1 hour in this session. Again, don't go back and read 1 hour video. You will be given access. That doesn't mean that you keep on seeing the video again and again. Maximum one movie you can watch only one time. Second time you watch, it will be boring. I've seen a lot of people, they'll attend the class and again they'll go and see the recording. So instead, try to make some notes. Okay, try to have some pen and paper. Whenever I'm saying it's an interview question, whenever I'm saying this is important, mark it down. That makes you easier for during the preparation. Okay, now we're talking about OLAP and OLTP. When we are analyzing the market data, we understand that 45% of the data is coming from OLAP systems. That means 45% of the data is historical information that we are getting. And when compared with most of the technologies, the languages used by data analysts or data engineers or data scientists, the first option is always SQL. SQL is a topmost technology that is used by data engineers, not only data engineers, data scientists, data analysts. People say that we are moving towards a big data, Spark and all, but one thing I would tell you is your SQL will never be replaced. Your SQL will never be replaced. There can be any new creature that is been introduced in this world, but no one can match the speed of cheetah. Similarly, relate your SQL to your cheetah. Today, n number of technology comes into picture. No one can match the speed of SQL. That's why it's still on demand. So it can never be replaced. That is one thing which you need to remember. Now, let's talk about the database. All these times we were talking about SQL. SQL is a language. Now, if I want to communicate with a database, I need to know a language which is called English, correct? Similarly, if there is a pen drive, there are a lot of pen drives. Pen drives from Sony, pen drives from Transcend, pen drive from SanDisk. There are many pen drives, but what is same here? Process, right? You have to plug into the USB port, you have to copy the files. Everything else is same. The only one thing which changes is maybe the the writing speed or reading speed, that changes. Correct. Now, in the reality, there are so many database in the market. Some of the database which is displayed on your screen, we do have a Microsoft SQL Server. We do have a PostgreSQL. IBM company itself, they have their own database. Oracle is having its own database, and MySQL is there. DB2 is there. There are so many database in the market, right? Now, one thing which we are going to learn here, I'll give another example. Today, all the people who are attending the class, I am assuming that they are all Indians. Okay, all the 80 people or 100 people who have joined this session, my first observation is I assume everyone is Indian. That is why you can see that I am using very simple English. I'm not using any complicated words, or I'm not using any standard vocabularies. I am just using very simple English, making sure that you all people get what I'm speaking. Now, I will be asked to go to US, UK, Canada for a lot of meetings from my company. When I go to seminars, when I go to office meetings, when I go to US to meet my clients, do you think the way I speak will be same? Definitely no. When I'm working with US clients, the way I use my vocabulary, sentence formation, grammar will be in a very high standard. Reason? I'm talking to my clients. Now tell me, did the English change? No, the way of English changed. When I'm in India, I'm speaking in different way. When I'm going to US, I'll be speaking bit fast. When I go to Sri Lanka or Pakistan, the people will not even understand if you're speaking a normal English. You have to speak a bit very slow. So I will reduce my speed. I'll not use any complex vocabulary words. I'll keep it very simple. Now, throughout the world, English is same. What changes is fluency, right? Pronunciation, slang, speed, all this will change. All this will change. Now, by using SQL alone, you can communicate to this database, you can communicate to this database, you can communicate to this database, you can communicate to this database. That means what will change? Language is SQL, but I can communicate with different database. Language is English, but I can communicate in any country. But what really matters is 95% of the times your syntax will be same. That 5% syntax will differ when you're working with one database with other database. There could be one function which works in this database, and there is that function will not work in this database. That is what small changes you will see when you're implementing SQL with different databases. Just like I give an example, English, I try to change the speed, I try to change the fluency, I try to use the vocabulary if I'm going to different countries. Similarly, when using this SQL language to communicate with a different database, small things will change. Now, imagine that you have joined this class for learning English, right? By if I teach you English, you will go all over the world and you can survive. Similarly, here you have joined to learn SQL now. If you learn SQL, trust me, you can go and implement that in any database. Today, we are going to choose one database which we are going to learn. Tomorrow, if your company is not using that database, never mind. Don't come and ask me, you have teach this database in my company, they are using that database. Well, we are not focusing on the database here. We are focusing on the language. I cannot teach you how they speak in US, how they speak in UK, how they speak in Africa, how they speak in Sri Lanka. I cannot teach you English 4 to 5 times. I'll teach a simple basic English and I'll ask you to change accordingly when you go to different countries. That is what even I am asking you. I'll be teaching SQL here. I'll be teaching you the language here. But when you're communicating to a different database, you just need to get adjusted to that type of syntax. 95% of the times, all the syntax will be changed. Only the 5% will change when you're moving from different database. I've already told you, I'm going to teach you how to use pen drive. Never come back to me again saying that I want to use a different band of pen drive. No, what you learned is a process. With that, the database that we are going to learn in our session will be MySQL. Now, don't ask me why MySQL. Whether I'm teaching in MySQL or I'm teaching in IBM or I'm teaching in Oracle, SQL is SQL. But since we are all starting our first technology, we wanted to keep it very simple. And most of the companies are using MySQL. And the reason why we have picked MySQL is it can be installed as an open source. Anyone can install in your system. No licenses is required. Whenever you're working with a database requires a license. You have to pay some amount to the software. But this is something which is a a very much a free open source. Anyone can download, and we do have a lot of security features, and it can be installed in any system. And the companies which are seeing on the right side of the screen are all the companies which are using this databases on a daily transactions. Facebook, LinkedIn, PayPal, and even NASA. All these are the companies which are using this MySQL database. And that is one reason why we have picked MySQL database for our learning purpose. Again, I'm saying today in this course, you may learn SQL, you may learn MySQL database. I have learned English. I need a place to go and communicate. Similarly, I am here to learn a language, which is SQL. I need to go and implement in a database. That database which we are going to use in order to communicate with that is MySQL. So tomorrow in your company, if they are using IBM, tomorrow if your company they're using Oracle, never mind. What you learn is language. You can simply go and throw the query on it. It will give you the results. But I'm also giving you a hint. 95% of the times code will be same. Small corrections will happen. That is expected because each system accepts different syntax, right? And in this entire first few classes that we are going to work will be MySQL. Now, ideally, I'll be helping you how to install your MySQL server. Okay, but when you're going towards the end of the course, you need not install all this on premises. This is an on premises. What is an on premises? Something which you're physically installing in your system, laptop, computer, or a server, which is called on-prem. But in the later part of the course, everything we are going to move towards the cloud, right? The complete codes itself that we are going to implement everything in the cloud. So for initial phase, let's install in our system. Let's try to understand what is the problem that we are getting in the on-prem, and then we will go and experiment the cloud. Today itself, if I go and say that this is not the future is going to be cloud, you people will never learn this. So let's go in a flow. Let's first try to understand what is the problem that we get when we install in the on-prem. Let's see what is the challenges that we get when we do in the on-prem, and later we will take back to the cloud. So I recommend each and every one to install the database in your system, because I want you to get that pain. Unless you get the pain, nothing you will achieve. So if I simply say that, okay, if you're getting problem, you live it, you will also become into a comfort zone. I don't want that. I want you to struggle to install this database, and then I want you to work along with me for the first 15 days in learning SQL. Whatever the code which I'm writing on the editor, I want you also to write, and then go and get the fruitfulness of the cloud, right? So the first thing we have to do is how to install your database. It's a very simple process. It's an open source. It's open source. Anyone can download it and anyone can install it in your system. We can start working with it. Your computer or a laptop acts itself as like a database by installing this, and we will start communicating it. We'll start communicating not in English. We have to go and communicate in a language which the only database can understand is SQL, right? So I'll be walking you through the steps. Please install it. This is my request, because only if you understand the challenges and the pain that you're getting in on-prem, you will understand why cloud is very important for us. If you don't understand the problems and challenges that which you're getting in the on-prem, then nothing you will get the clarity in the upcoming sessions. So it could be a challenging task when you're installing database, but I want you to figure out, I want you to get that solved. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to walk you through an installation steps, how you can install. So this is the official website. The moment you open this, this is what you get as part of the screen. Okay, and after that, I will also tell you how we can install. Just give me a minute. Yeah, so we have come up with a documentation like how to install a database. Okay, I want each and every one to install this right from the Google search. What you need to search in Google, I have given you as a steps. Just go and search MySQL download for Windows. MySQL download for Windows. Then you click the first link, download MySQL installer. You'll get this page. You'll get this page. Now, once you search this, you just go and click this. You should be able to get this here. I'm not sure how many of you are Facebook users. How many of you are still using Facebook? Facebook, there are two things. One, you can directly open in the mobile browser, and one you can open it in the app. What is the difference? Facebook has a own mobile app. Facebook can even be opened in the mobile browser. What is the difference? If you are using Facebook as an app, you have to go to the Play Store, you have to download. It is a size of 800 MB or something like that, or 80 MB. You have to download that, you have to log in, and then you can use. And the good thing about the app is it's a very user friendly. You just go to the video tab, automatically video starts playing. You just go to the news or tweets, automatically it starts populating. Your user interface wise, app is good. But when you don't want to utilize your memory, if you don't want to utilize your space, if you're just focusing every day 2 minutes only, I will use Facebook for 2 minutes. Why need to I have an app? Example, like me, I go and log in into the Facebook once in a month. Reason, I need to see whose birthday comes in which month, right? So that is where only one place where people would have exposed all their birthdays, so we can easily get to know whose birthday is when. So I can just go there. Today, August 1st, I have to log into our Facebook, see who's our birthday is there in this month. I just need to list it down, and I need to remember, keep an alarm, and I need to wish. In my case, I will log into Facebook only once in a month. Why I need an app? I never have a Facebook app. Instead, I go and log into my mobile browser, correct? Now, similarly, your installation comes with two steps. One with browser, web version, and one with the app version. If your system is not supporting, you need minimum of i5 configuration. Okay, you need a minimum of i5 configuration. Your RAM should be minimum 8 GB. And your Windows 10 or Windows 11, if it's there, it should work. 12 is also there, but I don't think 12 we are using. This 10 and 11 should be more than enough. If your Windows is in this, Windows 7 also not usable. If your system is more than i5 or i5 configuration, and if you have a 8 GB RAM, please go and install the app version. But by chance, if your laptop is not supporting because I have a 4 GB RAM, or I have a i3 configuration, don't go and spend your money on laptops. That is not recommended, because when you're working in future with the Azure services, or when you're moving to the cloud, your desktop or your laptop's configuration doesn't even matter for us, because everything we are going to do it in cloud. So don't spend too much money on laptops. A simple laptop to attend the class for the practice, it should be fine. By chance, worst case, your MySQL installation is not working, forget it. You have another option to go and practice it. The reason why I'm telling you to install is you have to know the pain of using the on-premises. The entire company systems, everyone is moving from on-premises to cloud. Only if you understand the pain here, you will be getting that goodness of the cloud there. So if it's not supporting, don't go and spend money for the hardwares. Instead, use this. This is a web version. The only problem in this is you should have an internet to work with the database. Now in this, the first one, which is a web version, automatically you can install the database directly in the web only. It will open in the online. You can start querying it. This is preferred people who are getting challenges when you're installing the database. But first preference, I would always give to the app, because app is a very user friendly. You can do whatever you want. And it's not requires a very good high configuration system and all. Your i5 systems should be more than enough to install this. Okay, now let's come back to the document. So the one preferred one is this one, 427 MB. This is the app version. That is, the entire software will be downloaded for in your laptop, and you can use it. And for this, the configuration required is minimum of i5 8 GB RAM. Now you download this. The moment you download this, it will ask you this page, which is going to be the MySQL community download. You can either log in, or you can just say no thanks, thanks for download. So I was a person who wants to know the update, so I created the account. You need not create the account. You can simply say no thanks, just start my download. So if you click that, this file will be downloaded, which is called MySQL installer MSI file. And this file which I'm downloading is a software version, that is an app version. So it comes around 400 MB. In the recent times, I have taken these snapshots in the 2020, but it's been 3 years. The file size has also been increased. 400 MB has now become 500 MB. So don't worry about it. Download the latest version. And once you download it, I will go to the this will be present in the download tab. MySQL installation community 8.0 version. I think now we have 9.0 version, something is there. So just go and download this. Create one software folder and create one MySQL. You paste that MSC file into this folder. This are all things everyone will do. From here onwards, focus on the installation steps. And once you copy into this MySQL folder, double click it. It will prepare to install. It will show you the next step. Every single step has been taken a snapshot for you to make your work easier. You already have Google to go and get the steps and install, but to make your work easier, we have created every single step. And even in our YouTube channel, we have uploaded multiple videos how to install MySQL. The same thing what I'm saying now, it is recorded and it is available in YouTube as well. So just please go and refer that. I want you to install this. Double click it, and once you double click it, this is what will happen. The installation is going to start. 4 seconds left. Okay, now the next page you will be getting is this, right? Now we are not going to build a project in SQL. We are not going to work for KSR. We're not going to work for Infosys. We're not going to work for TCS. The reason why we are installing this software is for practicing purpose. The reason why we are installing this for to have our hands on. For that, you can simply choose the developer version. Don't go with server only. Don't go with client only. Don't go with full. Don't do all this. This is all when you're working for a project. We are going to work with project, but that we are going to work in Azure, not in this. So for simplicity, initially 15 days, our objective is to learn only the language. Just like if I want to teach you English, I'm asking you a notebook. Similarly, this is your editor now. Go and install a developer version. So once you install a developer version, go for next. And it will ask all the pre-checks. That means they should have all of the softwares that has to be installed. So in that case, what you can do is you can just go and click this execute. Once you execute it, it will check for each and every product. In my system, I don't have Microsoft Visual Studio C++. There are some softwares that is required before installing this database. So one software which is not present in my system is Microsoft Visual C++ 2015 to 19. So who told this? Database only is telling, hey, when I'm trying to run an installation file in your system, I found out there is one file which is not there in your system. Okay, so what I can do, I can directly go and install this first. If I install this first, then I will be able to install my database. So in my system, this is not there. In your system, this could be there. In my system, this step will be executed. In your step, this could be skipped. It all depends on what type of laptop you're having. My laptop, it was not there. So I'll first install this Microsoft Visual C++. I'll go and install this. And once I install this, that will get installed first. Then comes your database installation. So you get installed. Okay, this is installed now. And after installing now, it will go and complete the steps, installation process. Now this is Microsoft Visual Studio, which I'm running currently, which is getting installed now. Now once this is getting installed, in the meanwhile, this is complete. Visual Studio install is complete. Now don't think this as a database. Database installation was going on. In between, it throwed a message like, hey, you don't have a couple of softwares in your system. Let me install that first. It's a prerequisite software. That was one was Visual Studio and one was Microsoft, the 2015 version to 17 version, and I've installed that. Now, if you see, all these checks will be checked in. Now you go for next. And once you go for next, these are all the steps that will be required to install. I can show you a live installation, but it will utilize around 1 hour. So I'm giving you a documentation for this. Please try it. All this will take time, like 10%, 12%, like this, it will take some time. Once you give the execute button, so this is complete, this is installing, this is complete, this is complete, this is complete. Now this step is completing, and I've taken a snapshot for every step. Once every step is completed, this is how it looks, and there will be a next button that will be shown to you. Just click the next button and again go for the next. and just give us a standalone. You're not working with anyone else. You're working with your own laptop, own database. So choose the standalone MySQL server. Go for next. Just don't change anything. Let everything be same. Go for next. And this is an authentication mode. Just click this. Go with the next. Give some password. Keep it very simple, like admin, user, something you keep, because no one is going to steal your laptop to use this database. If you forget it, there could be a problem there. Sometimes you have to uninstall it and you have to reinstall it. That type of problems will come. So to keep it safe, keep a very simple password. Very simple password. 5-digit or a 6-digit, some numbers or some names or an admin, something you keep it, because you're the only person who's using it. So please keep this. And once you keep this, don't change anything. Just make sure that this is selected and you just go and click next. And this is the last step. Go and click execute. Automatically, one by one, the tick marks will come. Once it is all completed, I am also in the last step of the installer. And once you finish it, there will be some sample files and sample databases and sample examples that will be installed. Go for next. And it will ask you to enter the password. The password which you gave some 3 to 4 slides back, right? That password you give here and you check if it is installed properly. You have to see a green message like this, connected successfully. And once you give the password, you just go and click next and final execute. It's going on. The steps have been running. And finally, you give finish. So once you give the finish, all the 3 steps will be executed. Go for next and installation is completed. Every click, I have taken this snapshot for you to make your work easier. You need not go to ChatGPT, you need not go to Google, you need not go anywhere else. This document should be more than enough for you to get installed, right? This document will be uploaded in our app. You can download it, you can follow the process, and you can go back and see the recording step by step, install it. Or if you still want help, our team can help you. If you still need a help, we have a YouTube video again for that. You can refer that. All the things we have mentioned, but we want you to install because we really wanted to understand you the pain that we have in the installation and working with the on-premises. What we are all doing is a on-premises. In reality, what is happening? The entire pipelines are getting changed from on-prem to cloud. So I want you to see the ground first and then go to the flight. So this installation has to be done before coming to the next class. Clear? Okay. So once this installation step is completed, you can see that this is what is called MySQL Workbench. MySQL Workbench is a software in order to execute your MySQL commands, right? And this is how it will open. And whenever you have installed, go to search MySQL Workbench. Search MySQL Workbench. Now, this is a software that we have installed now. Along with the server, we have installed this MySQL Workbench. Now, MySQL Workbench is a place where we're going to write the code. I will go and click this. If I click this, it's opening. Post the software installation, this is how it should come. Welcome to MySQL Workbench. Software we have installed, and this is how it comes. Now, what is this Workbench? Now, Workbench is a place where you go and write your code. What is that code? SQL code. If you write the SQL code, your computers, your database will understand your language. You cannot go and speak in English. You have to speak in a language which is called SQL, correct? Now, this is a software that is installed. Now, if you go and see here, I have downloaded this and we have the MySQL Workbench that is installed. What is this MySQL Workbench? Now, this is a place where we can go and write the SQL code. The good thing about the MySQL is it can be installed on your Windows, Linux, Mac OS, all the machines it is available. And once you open this, let's say, for example, it will ask you the password. The password which you had given while the installation, that has to be entered here. So once I entered, this is how the screen will look like. This is how the screen will look like. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So 5 parts, this is how it looks like. Now, each part has a different meaning that I'm going to explain now. Once you open it by entering the password, the first screen or the first tab which you have is a SQL Visual Editor. Now, this is where you will be writing your SQL code. This is where you will be writing your SQL code. So once you write the SQL code here, once you write the SQL code, you're asking database, hey, what happened on this day? What happened on that day? What happened this? What happened that? You're asking something, and immediately once you ask something by using SQL code, in this you will be getting the results. So you'll be writing the code in the SQL visual editor. This is the editor. And once you write the editor, you will be able to see the results, which is nothing but my query results. Okay. And every tool has some of the historical comments. Let's say for the last 45 minutes or 50 minutes, whatever the query which I'm running, whatever the questions which I'm asking, that gets stored in the history output window. Okay, this and all you can ignore. And the main thing is this is important. This is important for us. Okay, this is not much important. It will just show you what are the comments you have executed some time back. But once you close it, it will never be visible. But within the session, how many times, how many queries which are running, you will get it. Now this is an help panel. Suppose if you don't know the syntax, you can go and search here. I don't know how to insert a record. I don't know how to search a question. I don't know how to go with a syntax. You can ask your help command, and rather than asking in Google, you can ask in the tool itself. But for you, this is not required. For you, this is not required. For you, the help panel is I will be helping you. If you don't know the syntax, if you don't know how to write it, I will be helping you. For you, you don't need this help panel. I am here to guide you. So just ignore this. If you ask, it will give you the syntax. What is the syntax, how to do it, how to insert it, everything you will get it. And the final tab is object browser. So totally I may be working with in different projects, like 45 projects are there. In each project, I may having 45 to 50 tables. So it all depends on how I'm working. So all this you'll be able to see in your object browser, which is nothing but you're like a panel, like how many databases are there in the database, how many tables are there, all this we will be seeing. Now this is where the complete editor. So I'll open whatever I was teaching, it was in the PPT, but I'll go here. Now this is the database. Now in this database, I have told you this is not required for you. This is not required for you. Why it is not required? I am there to help you. Even if you don't know anything, it's always better to search in Google, not here. This is not that user friendly. So what I'll do, I'll simply go and click this. So it will automatically close. So this will give you all the three. I don't want help command. Why? KSR is your help panel for this rest of the course. So you don't need the help panel. You will get more space for writing the code. Okay. And this is for results, and this is for object browser. Now tomorrow when you're coming to the class, this is expected. This is expected. I want you to install this, have this page ready. Okay. Now we are talking about this installation. We are done with the installation. Now from today, whatever we are going to learn will be only practicals. No more PPT in the class. All the PPT work is done. We have given you the introduction to Azure. We have given the introduction to SQL. Now from today, everything is going to be practicals. Once you open this, you can write whatever you want. You can write whatever you want, but is it system is going to understand? Definitely no. If I simply go and ask, do you think your database will understand? Why? Database is ready, editor is ready, open space is there for me. What I really need to write is, hey, I have to communicate in the language that the database will understand. Database is a device, or you can call it as a storage, or you can call it as anything which understands only SQL. You can never go and talk in English like this. What happened in 2020, what happened in 20? No, you have to use the language. Before learning the language, imagine that you have crossed your LKG or first standard or second standard. Before learning the language, the first thing what you learned is alphabets. That is what we are going to start in learning SQL. We are going to start from a very basic level, very basic level. Some of you may be already knowing it. Some of you may be already experienced it, but please have patience in this batch because we do have a lot of freshers in the group. So everything will be taught from scratch. Some of the topics you may be knowing it. If you know it, please skip it. But this is how we are going to learn everything from scratch. Okay. Now, the first thing which I want is, I will open a whiteboard for you. I'll open a whiteboard for you. and I'll also open one Excel. I'll open one Excel. First thing I need is I have to create one project. Imagine that is Amazon. Imagine that is Amazon. Now, in order to work with Amazon, what is really required is first thing is I need to have a username or a customer name. Customer name is the first thing which I need when you're working with data. Next to what you need, customer phone number. Next to what you need, I'll keep it very short. Okay, I'll just say cust name and I'll say customer phone number, and the next is customer location, and I will also have customer age. Now imagine these are the 4 columns that I need. Okay, so these are the 4 columns I need to have my Amazon data. So I'll put some table format. Right. Now this is a table I need to create it. Of course, in the real time, Amazon will have more number of columns, but we're all beginners. We are trying to replicate this database in our, we are trying to replicate this information in our database. Now, this is customer data. In this customer data, what I am having is customer name I'm having, customer age I'm having, customer phone number I'm having, customer location I'm having. I'll tell you what is a bad design. I'll tell you what is a good design. Okay, listen carefully. Along with this, I will take another information, which color is considered as a good color, which color is considered as a bad color. Anyone? Which is considered as a good color, which is considered as a bad color. Usually my
Black
mom
and
keeps
red.
scolding whenever I'm going to function, right? She keeps on scolding. Why are you wearing this shirt? Why are you wearing that color? Which is considered as a black color, bad color, black. Let's put it in black. Now, this is a bad design. When I say bad design, that means remember this, you can never use this type of an architecture. You can never use this type of a table ever in your life. Let me tell you what. We have customer name, we have customer age, we have customer phone number, we have customer location, and we'll also see what is the product he has purchased, and is also say when did he purchase date, and the price. Now this is a bad design. I'll tell you why. Imagine Santosh is a customer, and imagine I'm 30, and imagine that this is my phone number 123 123 123 1. This is my phone number, and I am from Bangalore. One of the best place on this planet is Bangalore. Product, imagine that I have purchased Vivo phone, and the day I purchased this, let's say 2021, and the price of the phone is 14,000. Okay. Actually, practically speaking, this is good only. There's nothing wrong here, right? You're a customer, you're from a location, your age is mentioned, you are from a Bangalore location, and you have purchased a product. That's fine. Now, I have another product. Let's say Satish is an age of 27, and his phone number 123 123 1 is from Mumbai. He has purchased a headphones, and he has purchased on 15th now December 2022, and the price of the phone is 9 headphones is 999. Come on, this list still looks good only. Why it is bad now? Why it is bad? Okay, 2 records are there. Fine. Now, have you ever got any restrictions from Amazon that you can buy only one product ever with your account? In case if Amazon comes with a similar use case that you can purchase only one product with the only one account, can you tell me what will be the consequence? Multiple products, multiple accounts. Now, yeah, definitely people will move to other platforms. Now imagine it's a very simple logic. I have money, I will buy. I have money, I'll buy one product. I have money, I'll have one product. Have money, I'll have one product. Amazon cannot comes with a restriction as you can buy only one product. So what is happening? I am buying multiple products. It's my wish. But whenever I'm buying, do you think my name will change? No. Do you think immediately my age will change? Unless and until I turn 365 days, my age is not going to change. Do you think by changing the product, my phone number will change? No. Do you think I will go to Chennai and buy the product? No, I'm in Bangalore. What really matters is all these are same. But I will buy laptop product, and I will buy watch, and I will buy keyboard. Okay, after keyboard, assume that I am buying pen, I am buying book, I am buying book. So and I am buying on different dates. Assume that I am buying on different dates. This is 14, this is 03, and this is August 1st, 2023, and this is, let's say, 23rd, 09. Okay, I'm buying, and the laptop is 95,000, and watch is 1999, keyboard is 500, pen is 50, book is 150. And there is another guy who is like Kiran. He has age of 26 or 23, and his phone number 123 and he's from Chennai. He has purchased the things which are in front of me. I'm writing those things. Okay, all these things are in front of me only. So 25 12 2023 2022, and water bottle is 450. Now tell me, I have completed the table. Is it a good design or a bad design? People who say okay, looks good, looks informative, I can see all the product purchased by each and every customer. People who say good, justify your answer. People who say bad, what could be wrong? Why it's bad? Now let me tell you what is my thoughts on this. If you see here, lot of duplications. There is only one Santosh. There is only one age, 30. There is only one phone number. There is only one location, Bangalore. Why have you mentioned 7 times? The table itself is having 8 records. 8 records. In the 8 records, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 times only Santosh name is coming. The reason is what? He has purchased 6 products. This is a very, very bad design of storing the data, because if you observe the complete table information, there is lot of duplications. There is only one Santosh. Why have you have 7 or 6 records behalf of him? I understand that the product is changing for each and every time. Once he has purchased Vivo, once he has purchased laptop, once he has purchased watch, once he has purchased keyboard, but this is not the design which I am looking for. Now, this is a bad design. On the day one, I'm saying you never ever store all the information in one table. I get screwed in my house for this reason. Okay, whatever I take class, whatever, wherever I work, right, always they'll scold in my home. I'll tell you why. If I open my cupboard, everything I would have mixed up: formal shirts, office shirts, casual shirts. The day I want to go office, I'll be in very urgency. I have to catch the bus, I have to catch the metro, I have to travel. What you do in, I want to pick one formal shirt for my office, I'll never get it. What I'll do, I'll pick out everything will fall. And I'll just drop a message to mom, please clean it before I come. And by the time I come, cleaning will be done, scolding also will be there. Correct? That's the things which happens in our house. Have we well organized data points? Never. I gave an example of a cupboard. Imagine it's a bookshelf. Every book you dump into one shelf. For example, magazines, notebooks, newspapers, everything you mix up. If suddenly one of your friend comes and asks a notebook, I am damn sure that you will never get that book when you're searching. You have to pull out everything: magazines, newspapers, notebooks, everything you need to pull out, and you will be getting. If you're very lucky, you may get it in 5 minutes. If you're not at all lucky, you may get it in 30 minutes. But if you go to a library, however the big library you go in, within 5 minutes, you can get the book which you want. And that's the beauty of library, because in library, every book is properly arranged in a different racks, properly named, properly organized. Whichever book you want to search, maximum you will take 5 minutes. That's the organizing of the books there. Now, this is not the design which I'm looking for. The design which I'm looking for has to be one, different information I'm storing in the different table. For me, everything I've clubbed into one cupboard: formal shirts, casual shirts, night dress, everything I would have clubbed into one cupboard. But if I pick one, everything will fall like a earthquake. Everything will fall. I don't want that. What I have done, I have a separate racks, I have a separate department, I have a separate compartment, where one compartment I have stored only my formal shirts, properly ironed, pressed, and in the other compartment I'll go with a night dress or whatever it is. That's the what I need now. Now coming back to the good design, we are going to store specific information into a specific tables. That is what I wanted. And please remember this, throughout this data engineering, your first thing is organizing things should be your first point that you have to remember. And everything starts with the basic organizing data points. You cannot club everything into a single table. That's a bad design. The way I am going to design now is going to give a complete clarity of what needs to be done. So the challenge which we had is everything you cannot club into a single table. It has to be properly organized separately. Customer information, I will store in a customer table. Product information, I will store in the product table. That's what I'll be doing as part of my requirement. Okay, we will stop here. In the next class, we are going to focus on the good design. Today, we focused on what happened, what was a bad design, and how are we going to make it better is what is our next topic. Are we good? Are we good? Any questions? Yeah, as we promised, this is the fourth day, so definitely you will be like having one more day free class. Tomorrow is a Wednesday. Tomorrow will be the last class. So Thursday we started. So Thursday to Thursday, your free class will end. From Thursday, people who get registered only will be able to attend the class. So the reason why we have given the first 5 days is to get the grip, to understand what is happening. And one kind request, please join the course only if you understand. Only if you understand. That is the reason we have given you a buffer of 5 days. In this 5 days, if you have understood what I am speaking, some of you may feel that maybe I'm going too fast. Some of them may feel that I'm going very too slow, or some of them may not be able to understand what I'm speaking. So please join this course only if you understand, because that's the top most priority. If you understand, rest of the things will fall over your plate. Okay, now that is one thing which you need to do it. So tomorrow will be the last class. We'll end the session today. Tomorrow we will meet again at 8 o'clock. Thank you all.